seriously didn't know that things got this bad for this Rachel Zegler Snow White movie, but I'm reading this right now, and I'm worried about Rachel Zegler's career. I don't see how she comes back from this.
There are empty theaters all around the country. We are now at a 1 out of 10 on IMDb for the new Snow White, and it couldn't happen to a better person.
She doesn't need a prince to save her, and not surrounded by 7 weird people. Oh, okay, just CGI fictional goblins, I guess.
Every time she speaks, she gets less likable.
She's now bragging about the success of Snow White, which is a movie that's going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars. And mainly because of her, and because nobody wanted to support her.
Controversy around the film began ever since we learned that there would be no Prince Charming because apparently he kissed her without consent, and also no woman needs a man to rescue her. The movie also used CGI for the 7 dwarfs rather than actors because they thought using real people would be offensive.
But you don't seemingly like your own character, so she comes off as an insufferable white.
I seriously didn't know that things got this bad for this Rachel Zegler Snow White movie, but I'm reading this right now, and I'm worried about Rachel Zegler's career. I don't see how she comes back from this. There are empty theaters all around the country. We are now at a 1 out of 10 on IMDb for the new Snow White, and it couldn't happen to a better person. She doesn't need a prince to save her, and that's surrounded by 7 weird people. Oh, okay, just CGI fictional goblins, I guess. Every time she speaks, she gets less likely. She's now bragging about the success of Snow White, which is a movie that's going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars, and mainly because of her, and because nobody wanted to support her. Controversy around the film began ever since we learned that there would be no Prince Charming because apparently he kissed her without consent, and also no woman needs a man to rescue her. The movie also used CGI for the 7 dwarfs rather than actors because they thought using real people would be offensive, but you don't seemingly like your own character, so she comes off as an insufferable whiny brat. Rachel Zegler is extraordinarily woke, but she's woke in a way that's quite deranged, and if she hadn't have opened her mouth, I think that this movie might have done well. They might have just been able to ride on the hopium of the movie and some well-cut trailers, and people would have paid to go see it, and then it would have fallen off when people knew it was garbage. I don't think they're going to buy it. I don't think they're going to watch it. I don't think they're going to like it. But Rachel Zegler made it so hateable that you really sabotaged and took hundreds of millions of dollars from the studio. I don't know how anyone would ever want to go into business with her ever. Rachel is literally the star of a Disney movie, and she acts like she's some sort of victim. And that's the sort of mentality that is just poisoning people's minds. Like, she acts like her life is so bad. Yeah, we had more dwarfs than we did viewers in most of these theaters, and as you know, there were no dwarfs other than some CGI weird generated version of them. You know, they say, go woke, get broke, and Disney's going to lose money on this movie, and I believe it only made less than $1 million in China. Do you know, like, how hard it is to find an attractive young woman in Hollywood who can act and sing? It's not hard, like, who just isn't going to offend half the country. This truly is the worst casting maybe in the history of the film industry. Disney's Bob Iger says their mission is to entertain, not send messaging, as Snow White sails complete for worst performing a live-action Disney adaptation ever. I truly do believe that there's something wrong with her. She's disturbed. She's unhappy. The reality is she's just not stable. Like the majority of people in Hollywood, they're just not stable human beings. I would highly advise that you boycott this film. No matter how much your children love Snow White, don't alienate half of the country. When you're putting out a product meant to appeal to all, it's the Michael Jordan Republicans buy sneakers, too. They spent $170 million to make the thing, and it had the lowest opening, under $50 million, of any of these live-action Disney remakes that they've ever had. Some of you want us to hire actual dwarf humans, and then we thought we would have CGI magical creatures. How about this? Will still offend the dwarves, but will CGI dwarf. Mirror, mirror on the wall, how badly did Disney's new Snow White flop after all? And if you disagree with the sentiment, I don't need your business. Thanks, I don't need your business. You know what maybe Disney does? Maybe you're a tool, you're a pawn in this film. He didn't write it, he didn't direct it, you have nothing to do with the creation of Snow White. He should shut up and do the job. Disney's catching heat from every angle, and this time it's not just a little backlash, it's a full-blown firestorm. Independent shop owners across the country are pulling everything Snow White off their shelves. Gone. And honestly, can you blame them? This isn't just about a fairy tale anymore, it's about a total PR disaster. So what happened? Oh, buckle up. Disney thought they were being innovative by giving Snow White a modern twist, but instead of updating the story, they basically lit the original on fire and danced on its ashes. No dwarves, no charm, no happily ever after, just Chaos, and smack in the middle of the mess, Rachel Zegler, yep, her again. She's gone from rising star to the face of Disney's downfall in record time. She's been acting like the whole studio was built just so she could show up, say a few lines, twirl in a dress, and cash a check, and people are not having it. One fan even joked that Rachel treats Disney like her personal fashion sponsor. She just shows up, models the dress, and dips, and honestly, it's not far off. Every one of the 18 hours I am in this snow white dress, I expect to get paid. If it's 18 hours, I want 18 hours of pay. I'm sure she got underpaid as a Disney lead actress. Now, if you think we're being dramatic, stick around. This whole situation is messier than a reunion episode of Real Housewives, and the tea is still pouring. Disney's been making eyebrow-raising decisions for a while, but this one might be their boldest fail yet, and the internet is dragging them for it. People are calling it tone-deaf, lazy, even insulting, and for a company that built its brand on magic, that's not a good look. So, yeah, the House of Mouse might need a whole rebranding spell after this one, and we're just getting started. Did Disney really think no one would notice them flushing millions down the toilet faster than you can say once upon a time? Like, seriously, did they think the fans were blind? Let's rewind real quick. The original Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs wasn't just some random cartoon. That movie built the Disney empire. We're talking 1937. Legend status, it was the foundation of the whole fantasy machine. Touching that's like messing with grandma's secret pie recipe. You switch one ingredient and boom, you've just started a family war that'll be talked about for decades. But did Disney care? Not even a little. They hit the green light on a remake that's being dragged harder than a bad lip sync on live TV. Test audiences didn't call it a movie, they called it a TikTok compilation with a plot crisis. No heart, no soul, just a mashup of trending aesthetics and random edits. One person literally said it felt like the algorithm directed it. A few lessons for Disney. Stop. Number 1, stop cannibalizing all your old IP. Like, it's really bad business. Number 2, please stop changing all of the historic plots which actually have meaning to generations of people to instead become generic woke story about how woman leads revolutionary uprising and she don't need no man now. Here's the wild part. Instead of going, okay, maybe we messed up, Disney went full delusional mode. They poured even more cash into saving it, more PR, more post-production, more spin, like they thought a little glitter could hide the fact that the whole thing was falling apart. According to insiders, Disney believed the name alone, the brand, was untouchable, that anything with the castle logo would automatically win. Spoiler alert, it didn't. Fans came in like digital snipers, finding every weak spot and exposing it online. The acting called flat, the writing roasted, the vibe cringeworthy with a sprinkle of desperation. As one viral comment put it, turns out this fairy tale wasn't bulletproof, it was full of holes, and the internet didn't hold back one bit. Now let's talk about the cash massacre. Snow White 2025 is shaping up to be one of Disney's biggest money pits ever. We're talking a disaster so bad you can almost hear the execs clenching their jaws in those glossy boardrooms each time a new box office forecast drops. It's lower than the last, early viewers storming out of nearly empty theaters looking dazed like they just sat through a student film directed by a confused mime. Some said it felt like an artist's fever dream, but in the worst way possible. That story is Snow White. Snow White bombs, breaks records for the lowest live-action remake opening ever. Let me say that again, ever. I mean, look at this right here. Snow White crashes 70% in second weekend box office, and then came the IMDb reviews. Yikes, the movie's rating plummeted to a shocking 6 out of 10, like the entire internet got together and decided to roast this film into ashes. Review after review says the direction is so bizarre, even people who usually live for cringy cinema can't defend this one. Social media is flooded with posts saying it's the clearest proof yet that Disney's magic wand might finally be out of batteries. And oh, the memes, unmatched. People are dragging the woke dwarfs for ghosting the movie, comparing the plot to a school play written during detention, and calling the visuals Netflix horror filter vibes. And it's not just the story catching heat. Fans are roasting the tone, the lighting, even the camera angles. Everything about it screams expensive mistake. And if you thought maybe it still had a shot, you're not looking good. People are saying the storyline is such a chaotic mess. It feels like an over-caffeinated and turn cut and pasted scenes from 3 completely different movies. 1 minute Snow White's belting out a pop anthem like she's auditioning for The voice, and the next she's trapped in some moody dystopian landscape that looks like it was borrowed from a rejected sci-fi script. It's giving major identity crisis. And forget about the charming prince. He's gone vanished, replaced by a clunky empowerment subplot that feels as last minute as a celebrity cameo nobody asked for. Zoom in right there, that's it. 163,000 rating, of which it got 1.6 not out of 5. Like, sometimes you go to McDonald's, it's 1.6 out of 5, yeah, 1.6 out of 10, cause once more look at this right here.